Hello, hello. How's it going? Sorry I'm late. Blame the weather as to why I'm 30 minutes late. Hope you guys had a great weekend, especially to those of you watching the recording. Just gonna get my giant smudge going. Hello, hello. Grand Rising, everyone. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Adriana. How are you, darling? Hi, Noelle. Hi, Connie. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Margarita. Hello, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. What was that quote? A wizard is never late or early. They arrive precisely when they mean to. Just gonna smudge out the room a little. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Chandrika. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Lori. Hi, Emma. Hi, Maria. Hi, Jessica. Bradley's here. Hi, Bradley. Hi, Johnny. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you watching. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Karen. Were you building a snowman? No, everything is wet. It halfway through the night changed to rain, so everything is a big sopping mess right now. Did you guys get any snow? Anybody else get snow? I know you didn't get snow, Bradley, with your 52 degrees. I am very, very well, Johnny. Thank you. Hi, Katya. What did you guys do this weekend? Anybody have anything interesting to discuss? We had an ice storm, then rain all day. That's about what we had. That is what is going on up here in the Northeast right now. It's lots of sleet and soppiness. Bus is running late because of flooding. Ah, see, your buses are late too. It doesn't have to be snow. This is the first time I actually joined to say hello. Nice one, Erin. Thank you for joining us. We just kind of hang out and chat shit on Mondays, don't we, guys? Anybody have anything they want to talk about today? I'm really excited about this week. I have one of my first astrologists coming on the podcast tomorrow. Her name is Raina. She's lovely. You guys are going to really like Raina. She's going to be doing a chart. I gave her all my deets. So we'll see how that goes. Who knows what hidden things are going to come out there. And then we also have Angelica coming on the podcast on Wednesday. So we get to speak with Siddhartha and Angelica. That'll be lovely. And then on Thursday, I get to introduce you guys to my lovely friend, Adriana, who's actually watching me right now. I love you, Adriana. She has been instrumental in my new development over the last 2 months or so. She's the one that channels the Solations. And I've been very excited to introduce you to her and to also her soul guide, Zach, who is the Solation that I've been talking about for quite a while now. So for those of you who aren't aware who I'm talking about, these are the the white-haired, very light-skinned Pleiadian types that are from Plion in the Pleiades. They've been kind of watching what's going on here on Earth, and they don't really like what they see. So they've been helping us in many different ways with just helping the starseeds understand who they are, because most of us starseeds have forgotten who we are after thousands of years. Well, I should say the veterans have. Some of you other starseeds, this is your first time as a human, and it's very confusing and difficult sometimes to be a human, even just for one incarnation. So that is why the Solations are very excited to meet with some of you. because they do Akashic Records readings. They can read you your whole record, basically. So I've learned more about my past lives and I should say my galactic lives, especially over the past 2 months than I have my entire life. So this is one of the reasons why I'm so grateful for them and so excited to introduce you guys. It'll be great fun. Zach is amazing. He's a lovely, lovely soul guide. And yeah, things are really ramping up quickly lately in ways that I'd never expected. So very exciting times. Yeah, Bradley says, I'm so pumped for Adriana and Zach. Me too. And for those of you if you remember my story about me being Zoran, this is the medium that was Evanon. Well, I should say is Evanon. So we can talk a little bit about that as well. So Chantal is here. Hi, Chantal. She says, what did I miss? We're having a chat with Zach on Thursday. You get to meet my Salation friends. So that'll be a lot of fun. Some of them anyway. Hunter is here. Hi, Hunter. So good to see you, darling. Hope you're well. So yeah, that'll be a good fun chat. And you guys can ask. I'm asking him all kinds of questions. I got to have a really fun chat about the Greek gods yesterday. One of my friends, as I told you guys before, you remember my friend I mentioned that I've known for a very long time that was a demigod in a previous life. And it was interesting because I wanted to know more about his record because, with the whole Greek god thing really gets me going. I don't know why I felt such a connection with them. Maybe it's the past life as an oracle. I don't know. But I've always had a very deep fascination with the Greek gods. So when they said that he was a demigod, I'm like, all right, we're going to need more information from his record. So this was a different medium that picked up on that. So I was like, I bet you it's accurate, though. Let's see. So we had the Salations go and look into his record. And sure enough, it was accurate. He really was a demigod. Well, I don't like the word demigod. He was half ET, half human. And back then, being an ET made you look like a god. In fact, apparently they even painted themselves head to toe in gold. So they would stand out. They were already taller than us anyway, so they would stand out. They're like 7, 8 foot tall. And then on top of that, they used to paint themselves from head to toe in gold. So they would really show off. We'll put it that way. And so I was hearing some stories about my friend, and it was really funny. They were like, yeah, you kind of discarded the humans quite easily, especially the ladies. We'll put it that way. And I was like, oh, no. Like, he was a player as a god, apparently. So, yeah, there was a whole lot of interesting revelations that have been coming forward from some of these Akashic Records readings. And I'm pretty excited to put them in my book because, as you guys know, I really go for the historical accuracy. So I'm putting all the little things that I'm learning about them actually in my book, which is, it's fun, I must say. Bradley says Demi Little G. Yes, exactly. Demi Little G. The shining ones. Yep. And Jordan says, when Adriana told me a few weeks ago that it was her guide Zach doing. So technically, like I said, the Salations just do whatever they want to do. So some of us, we have no control over what some of the people do. So yes, not trying to get anybody in trouble, Jordan. So yeah, but yes, it has been Adriana that has been assisting me with a lot of the Akashic Records stuff. She is an amazing Akashic Records reader. So I'm very excited to show you guys a little bit about that on Thursday. But on Wednesday, we'll also have a wonderful chat with Siddhartha. I'm really excited to see. So yeah, this week is going to be a great chat. And if anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. We will obviously be jumping over to Astara in 20 minutes to do a chat. So if you guys want to chat more personal stuff, we can do that then. So, but I've been having a lot of interesting insights into history, which I may even like do another chat on one of these times. Pretty much, Chantal, yes. Yes. Thank you. Um, so yeah, we are, very busy right now with some of the things that we're developing and shifting and moving around and creating. Margarita says, "What is your opinion on the orbs that people are seeing all over the world?" Well, I already know what they are. I've asked the guides about them. I've posted about them a couple times, mostly in jest. So, but they're just ancient. I shouldn't say ancient. It's from the 70s, so it may as well be considered ancient. It's old cabal technology from Nixon's era. Yep, they aren't going to let us see the cool shit. It actually kind of pisses me off a little bit because I'm like, come on, we both know you got better shit than this. The government could be using much flashier, cooler technology to depict aliens. I think it's kind of a letdown, I must say. But this is some Project Bluebeam shit. They're just trying to scare people. They're trying to distract people. I was at the gym the other day, and every single fucking screen at the gym was about the drones. Every single one. There was like 7 screens. Every single one, bing, 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 all the way down was about the drones. And I just laughed to myself. I was like, how much more obvious can you get? And the military's like, oh, we have no idea where they're coming from. Bullshit. You're the one letting them go. Nope, they're coming from the military bases and they're just playing dumb. Okay, 100%. They're just playing dumb. That is totally the government. And I don't know why they're doing it. It'd be a good idea to, I have asked the soul guides a little bit about it. And they basically just told me they're trying to distract people. They're trying to upset people. And this is a soft disclosure kind of thing where they're slowly trying to drip feed us some information. Bradley says, I'm out of the loop with the news. What drones? Bradley, have you been under a rock this week? Where's Bradley been? Bradley has gone back to Engen this week, apparently, to miss this news. It's everywhere. It's all over the place. It's all people are talking about right now. In fact, it drives me crazy. It's funny. The other night, my mom called me like in a panic at like 9:30 at night, and I'm just sitting down to do clearings. And she's like, oh my God, look outside. There's drones outside. And I was like, no way. I look, and sure enough, there were some drones. And we're like, oh, Mom, it's not a big deal. I'll find out what they are. And she's like, all right, please do. So I asked one of my galactic guides, one of my friends, who's definitely more, connected to these things than us. I said, what is it? And he's the one that explained. It was Constantine, if you guys are aware about my Lost Soul rescues. It was Constantine that told me, like, no, it's just the government. It's just the cabal doing their thing. You know what they're like. So he explained, like, how he actually used the reference of rollerblades, which was kind of funny. He was like, rollerblades from the 70s used to look like, you get the old version of rollerblades and then you get the new version of rollerblades. He's like, people are used to seeing like, the new version of things. So if you bust out the old version, they're even more confused as to what they're seeing. So if people had seen like the modern, like up-to-date technology, which the government never lets us see anyway, you have to wait at least 30 to 50 years for that, which is why they're busting out the Nixon shit now. So these were the drones that they were using back in the 70s. And there was some guy like last night that was talking about it, basically explaining like what would be the purpose of flying drones at night, because you can't see shit. You can't see anything. It serves no purpose to fly drones at night, unless of course you're trying to get people upset. You're trying to show off all the flicky lights and everybody's like, oh my God. So that is what they're doing. There's no point. They're not even trying to track anything. They're just trying to get public opinion up about these things. They're testing us. They want to see our reaction. They test us for our reactions all the time. So, yeah. If you get what I mean, they're basically just old shit that they're parading around just to scare people. And of course, the muggles and the NPCs are going to hook, line, and sinker every time. Anytime the media is talking about something, they're just going to be like, oh my God. So this is why, if you see them one outside, just laugh at it. There's nothing nefarious other than some shady shit that's usual from the government. You know what they're like. Setting up for Project Bluebeam. You're probably right, Michelle. I would not be surprised if they're trying to scare us away from ETs. I think that I've been arguing about this quite a bit because the Salacians have a very close connection with the Tagetans. And when I bitch to the Salacians, sometimes these things go down the line of command, so to speak. So I have been kind of vocalizing my thoughts about the Federation and how we deserve to have an opinion about these things and deserve to be in full contact with our people up there. Unfortunately, they don't really care. They just kind of leave us to our own devices down here. But if the government is going to start busting out the fake alien stuff and start pretending like aliens are coming down here to mess with us, then they may as well just have the real ones come down here and set the record straight, right? I think that is what they're kind of building up for over the next couple years. I do have a feeling like if you ask Bashar and a few others who, I mean, you can take it with a grain of salt regardless, but they do make it sound like disclosure is coming. Like they are coming down here at some point very soon. So it would be nice to have validation for all of these things. Luke says I remote viewed an alien by accident and scared the shit out of me. What kind of alien was it? Depending on the kind of alien, you might have scared it just as much as it scared you. Because they don't like it when we see them. They're not expecting us to see them. But with remote viewing, obviously, you're in the astral. So you can see things in the astral then. It's kind of obvious knowing they have EMP cannons. I mean, there you go. They can shoot one down anytime they want. I mean, it would be really easy, actually, for them to shoot one down. So the fact that they're all like, oh, shit, you saw a tall gray. How tall are we talking? Like taller than human, taller than a normal human. Because they come in different, like the 2 foot, 3 foot ones are like the Zeta Reticulans. Those are the nicer ones. They're basically like gardeners. They're the gardeners of Earth. They're pretty much harmless. Then you also do get the slightly taller ones that are like, I don't know, I'm kind of tall. I'm almost 6 foot. So they're probably up to like here, the 5 foot ones. Those are the ones that like to also genetically modify and mess with us. We find a lot of those are the ones that kind of look like they have an onion head. The onion head grays, those are the ones that like to experiment on people. Those are the ones I tend to find a lot of dark contracts attached to. But then you get the really, really tall ones. They kind of smell like garbage, and they're not, those are the really tall ones. Like we're talking taller than a human, and those are the ones you don't want to bump into. Those are the ones that Phil Schneider bumped into underneath that base in Dulles. You don't want to bump into those ones. Those are the ones you can also smell them coming. Yeah, they're the ones. Yeah, they smell pretty funky, and they have like elephant like skin. Like their skin looks like the skin of an elephant. They got like pachyderm skin. But like I said, those are the ones you don't want to see. If you see those, then you got big problems. I had a remote view session of a head like a portrait, and then he looked me in the eyes and was like, "Nope, I'm out." So if you saw a 7 foot tall gray, Richard, those you're lucky you're telling the tale. I mean, obviously, there's 165 different types of grays, just for the record. According to the Pleiadians, 165 different types. Stephanie says they smell like garbage. The Matrig grays do. The Orion grays do. And the Orion grays are like half gray, half reptilian. That's why they're not nice. They're actually very nasty compared to even reptilians. That's why I say you don't want to run into those. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you Google Phil Schneider, Phil Schneider was a contactee that bumped into them. He was part of this organization that was digging underground bases for the military. And he tunneled into the wrong area, we'll put it that way. He tunneled into an underground base and bumped into it. And his whole team got wiped out. Whole team got slaughtered like nothing. So it was quite crazy. And Phil Schneider didn't live long to talk about it. After he went out of the military and started telling everybody about what he saw, he was murdered shortly after. So like I said, there's some crazy shit going on with the Greys. I actually had a chat with somebody that does spirit release in Australia last night. I had a wonderful chat, and he's going to be coming on the podcast. I'll promote him in a few weeks. But he was telling me how many grays he bumps into down in Australia, and there's a lot. I mean, a lot. So you Aussies have a lot of grays, especially people in the Midwest also deal with them a lot. People in Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, all that area, because that's where most of their bases are. So they're not going to fly to Pennsylvania to fuck with us. Here, if you're all the way over in, New Mexico somewhere, they're going to go with the locals because it makes more sense. So this is one of the reasons why you may notice there's a higher concentration of abductees in certain areas. It's because there's a base nearby. And many of them are harmless, like the Zeta reticulans, those little ones, they're harmless. In fact, you don't often see them much anymore because they've been kind of bullied out by some of the larger ones. I asked the soul guides about this the other day. I'm like, how come they're allowed to get, like, we have the prime directive, right? So the prime directive is supposed to be this way of isolating us and protecting us away from other ETs. Like for example, what happened with the Greek gods, so to speak, the Greek ETs, the ones from Atlas that came here and pretended to be gods. I asked about them and they said they got chased away by the Federation like 600 years ago. But what's what they did? They would only live about 700 years. So they would portray themselves as a certain person and they'd come back like Zeus would come back as Jupiter. It's the same person, just in a new vessel. So, and then he came back as Odin later on, and there's a few others like Anu and a couple others. So they were very invested in our history. In fact, many of these ETs, they planted a lot of animals and plants and all kinds of stuff here on Earth. They seeded a lot of life here. They also created a lot too. I was like, what's the tallest being that's like the tallest humanoid that's ever lived on Earth? And Zach told me, he goes, 40 feet. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, was that the standard? Like, they're like, no. That was genetic modification. They would just genetically modify all kinds of things. So apparently the beings from Atlas had very advanced technology, or at least compared to what us humans were used to seeing. And so whenever they were, felt like creating some weird shit, they would do so. Gotcha says, I didn't see one, but I smelled one today on the bus stop. That's funny. So you just never know what you're going to bump into on this planet because, this planet is a bit of it's just very random. You never know. Oh, and to finish my train of thought, a minute ago. So Zach was telling me that basically the reason why the shady ETs ended up here was because Earth was kind of like considered shady anyway. We're kind of like the ghetto of the universe. So all of the nice, you know what I mean? Like people, they tend to avoid those areas or at least lock their doors as they come through here. And then they only, stop for a quick little whatever, and then they move on. So this is one of the reasons why Earth has only really ever seen ETs that are exploitive because, they are, they are the only ones that are, that vibration to come here. So I was like, wait a minute. So what about the prime directive? And they're like, well, no, the prime directive is abided by all benevolent beings. They know not to break that rule. So that's why we have so many naughties down here doing shit they shouldn't be because they are breaking the rules, so to speak. So we're like the ghetto of the universe. So now all of a sudden you'll notice that most of the ETs that come here are a bit ghetto themselves. And the others, they don't want to interfere with our free will. Exactly, Amanda. So this is why you get half of the ETs that are like, well, I don't want to interfere. I don't want to cause any problems. They have like the math teacher kind of standpoint, if you think about it, right? Because they'll teach you the formulas. They're happy to teach you the formula, but they want you to do the work. So that's kind of what their attitude is they'll come in, they'll give us some nice messages and some positive encouragement, and they'll give us some good advice as to how to do things, but they won't come down here and show us how to do things. They won't do the work for us. That is their attitude. Meanwhile, you have all of these other groups down here that are like, oh, I'll sell you the math test. I'll sell you the answers. You get the shady groups that are like, I can pass your tests for you. It's only going to cost you your soul. So yeah, you just never know when coming to Earth what you're going to get yourself into. And this is one of the reasons why so many star seeds end up biting off more than they can chew, so to speak. Jessica says to keep my little selenite shank on me. That's funny. But yeah, this is what you got to do. I mean, you got to toughen up down here. This is the thing. Like, many of us come from love and light. We come from this divine love and understanding. And then you come down here and everybody's pissed at each other and nobody understands each other and everything is chaos. And you're like, "Ma, I can't take it anymore." So there's so many star seeds that are struggling down here for this reason. And so yeah, Amanda says we are here to remember our own mastery. If we were helped more, we wouldn't be doing the work we came for. Yep, exactly. I asked my higher self, I was actually bitching like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I know you can do that. I know you can just hit the switch. I know that if you were to just, turn it on, I can hear. I know that if you were to turn it on, I can see. But they were like, yeah, we could. We could. They actually admitted this. They're like, yeah, we could. We could turn it on right now. But we're not gonna. They're like, you're not ready for that. They're like, you need to start doing your meditation. You need to make sure that you're doing your psych protection every day. We're not going to turn things on for you if you're just going to, be flippant with your important things that go along with it. So they want you to work for it. My own higher self wants me to work for it. I'm like, come on, it'd be so much easier. We don't have time for these things. But no, the higher self says, yes, you do. You have all the time you need. So they do. They want you to work for it. All of us humans, as if we haven't already been working for it for the last few thousand years. They want us to cross every T and dot every I, so to speak. But you never know. Things are getting really exciting. I think that over the next coming months, we're going to be seeing this world change in ways we never expected. Megan says, are you a Stargate fan? Is that your real name? Yes, that is his real name, Daniel Jackson. So I love saying his name, Daniel Jackson. Oh, love it. See, you got him going now. He's like, yes, ma'am. He's all like, yes, I am Daniel Jackson. Daniel is working on decoding the Stargate symbols so we can leave here. Yes, he is. Yep. He's our resident brain who's going to decipher all the things that we need to leave. Thank you, Daniel, for your service. I want to show you guys what I made last night because I was making organite for Christmas for people. And check this out, right? Look at this. So this is a lotus. I just had some leftover resin last night. So I mixed the resin with iron and shungite powder. And then I dumped a whole bunch of copper balls in there. And check it out. Isn't that cool? So the bottom needs some work. But yeah, if you see, like, it's a little black lotus that I made just having fun last night. And it's half shungite, half iron. Obviously, there's copper in there. You can see the flecks of copper in there, which is really cool. So I have this now. I'm just sitting on top of my router. So yeah, it's just some dust that I mixed in there. It's still a little flimsy. In fact, I pulled it out of the mode. As you can see, it's still kind of moving around a little bit. I hope Michelle is proud of me. Michelle. Trying to make it look nice. So yeah, isn't that cool? Just getting creative with some of the organite that I've been making. I got Daniel Jackson's piece because Daniel Jackson has been my #1 fan for the last 6 months. I've been needing to send you that, Daniel. So your piece I literally finished last night, just for the record. That's how slow I am. I'm sorry. I'm very slow when it comes to crafting. I also made a really great concoction I want to tell you guys about, right? So I've started making my own sprays. If you go on Amazon, you get a whole bunch of these, I'll show you. They get these mini spray things, which are the little mini brown bottles. And come on, you're gonna show it or what? These things, right? So I got these. I'm giving out as gifts for people for Christmas, and I'm making anti-beastie spray with it. And I've been experimenting with some of the combinations that I got, and I made an amazing combination where I took the head of a rose, a bundle of white sage, some orange peels, and then I poured water in there, put cleansed water in there, and then I put clove, cinnamon, and vanilla. And then I took all that and I cooked it down for like 30 minutes. And then I added rose, sage, orange, clove, cinnamon, and vanilla essential oils. I'll write this down so you guys can see. I actually have a list here. And holy shit, it's like one of the best smelling things ever. So for those of you who are interested in making your own anti-beastie sprays or giving them out for Christmas, that's what I'm doing. That is the combination that I came up with that is mwah, like, oh my God, it's so good. And if you think about it, like every single one of those is either protective or uplifting. So the rose is uplifting, the sage is protective, the orange peel is protective, the clove is protective, the cinnamon is protective, and the vanilla is uplifting. So I'm telling you, it sounds like Agua de Florida. Do I have that? Where is my Agua de Florida? I have that as well. Some of them are very strong smelling. Like this one I got from a crystal show the other week. This one is called the Wolf Spirit, White Sage with Rose. So I was like, oh, cool. Okay, so I'm going to get that. And then I found out that it's actually got other stuff in there. I hate when they do that, when they're like, oh, these are the two things in it. And then you're like, oh, that's great. That's all I wanted. And then I read the fine print and they're like, oh, yeah, there's also sage, which is good. But then they have eucalyptus in there. So because eucalyptus in here, you can't use it around animals. So the one that I just wrote is good for animals because there's nothing in there that is anti-animal. Because like I said, there's a few things you can't use around animals. You can't use tea tree around animals. They don't like lavender. Pretty sure, can they have rosemary? Does anybody know about rosemary? But there's a couple others that animals should not be used around, and eucalyptus is one of them. So this is why I went to get this for my mom, and she's like, I can't use it. So I'm like, fine, mama, I will make you one you can use. And that is why I came up with that concoction. And let me tell you, it's so nice. It really is. So you boil it down, you add in the regular ones in the water, you cook those down, and then you add the essential oils as well. So it's a little bit extra of the smell. And the smells linger longer then, because I've noticed that if you spray it without the oils, it doesn't last that long. Is frankincense good for pets? I have no idea. I can't remember. I'm sorry if I can't remember. Anyway, it is 11 o'clock. I just realized, and time for Astara. So I love you guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. And if there's anybody that has any questions or anything they want to talk about privately, we can jump on Astara just now. And yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Always a pleasure. And yeah, we'll talk a bit more about some of the other things I'm sure you guys want to discuss just now. So I will see you all tomorrow morning with Raina. Bye, guys.